Good afternoon and welcome back to the garden. It's cold and overcast today. It's been like it for a few days now. Can't get much done outside, it's bitter. And the forecast for us is snow and rain, and also so over the next week it's going to be not very nice for gardening. So if there's not a lot to do, then we'll just skip that one and we'll start again when we can get back on the ground. But today we're going to put the broad beans in, and I'm going to go to the shed with you after we finish down here, and we'll put the cucumbers in. Now I know we've got the cold weather coming, but the cucumbers might be a couple of weeks at least before the break and start lifting. And we did put those pots in the propagator so they're nice and warm, so we'll do that anyway. The other thing is some of the tomatoes, the plum ones, I'll show you when we get up there, getting a little bit big now, so I want to get them potted. I've got the trays ready, I'll show you those. But I can't do it because of this really cold weather, because once I pot them, I put them in the prop just to settle and switch the temperature down, and then keep them in the shed there to harden them up a little, and then bring them down here. But if it's going to snow, we'll leave them in the prop. Now today we'll put these broad beans in. Now these are called Robin Hood. Now we've grown Robin Hood quite a few times on this heavy land. They always grow well, but the beauty of them, I think, is they don't get really tall. 18 inches, 2 foot, that's about all they grow. So they're not blowing over, and they don't perhaps need a little bit of support, but not a lot. And we put them in pots because every time we put them in the garden, either the mice have eaten them, the squirrels are trying to dig them up, and once they break the ground, the pigeons come and take them anyway. So we do ours in pots, then take them out later on and put a net over them. Now we only need 12 pots of these. We don't have an awful lot of broad beans, but we do like them. And I should put 2 in each pot, so that'll be 24 plants, plenty. Just normal potting compost, nothing special for these. And just be aware that if you find seeds that don't look so good, reject them, because they won't germinate if they're not so good. Oops, like that one, look, split in half. Reject that one. They don't want those at all. And there's one here that's stuck between my fingers. That one, look, is all wizened and not going to germinate. Another one there is split, so we don't want that one. It just saves you that annoyance of putting 2 seeds in and only one germinating. So be selective and just put the good ones in. Plant on the sides. Just push them in like that. Now you can soak them. You can do lots of things to try and start them off on putting them on cloths and all sorts, moist cloths, to get them to germinate. But we got plenty of time this time of year, so we'll just push these in. 2 to a pot, and then I'll cover the pots in a moment. We'll do 6 and then we'll fill them up. You see, I'm not quite happy with that one. Another one there, look, are you watching this DT Brown? Another one rejecting. That one will be alright, I'll put that one in. Put them on their edge. and then they'll open and then the leaf will lift out eventually. No heat required for these, they're quite tough. They say you can put them straight in the garden, but they don't. To say the new seed, there shouldn't be that many damaged. Yes, I'll put these 6 pots in and then we'll cover them all up. Another one there, look, broken in half. There you are, there's 8 of the broad bean seed that was purchased, and they have a sell-by date of December 24. Right, we'll cover them up, we'll do this row. There, it's just filling them up with compost. There's a bit of vermiculite in it, but that was just spillage because the bags were close together and one got spilt into the other. But it's not necessary to put them in. Nice and firm. We're having to do it like this because, as you know, we're very short of room in here for the time being. And my last job at night is always to come down and put all the fleeces on these. It seems to be working. We've had some very cold nights. We just top them up, press them down, and then we'll give them a drink. I have some water in here, so yes, I have some water warming. Just a little bit of water just to wet them. All the overwintered plants were watered yesterday, so they won't need any today. And a label, so we know what's in those, although we know what's in them because the big pots. I have brought the onions down that we had in the propagator that we've grown from seed, and they was getting a little bit pale in the propagator, so I brought them down. They've greened up nicely now. If it gets really cold at night, I put these across like that, and then I've got some lids that I can just pop on like that at night, and then fleece over the top. There's plenty of air and it's not crushing the onions as it is. Obviously if they get a bit bigger we won't be able to do that, but that's what I do. There's 2 in there and 2 in there ready. Obviously with it being a bit cooler in here, the temperature at the moment is 15.1 in here, and I do believe outside is 6 or 7, so it does stay quite warm in here. If we can get an hour sunshine in the day and it gets really hot in here and it goes into the walls, then it stays warm all night. But that's why I'm worried about the snow coming. When we were talking about those plum tomatoes that were getting a bit biggish and on the 4th leaf ready for potting up, I got the trays ready, look. Nice deep trays, look, so they'll be ideal for them, and I should take them up with us to the propagator. I think we'll leave them and see what cold weather we're getting. If it's not too bad, we'll do. We'll brave the cold. I'm alright, it's Diane, you know, who doesn't like the cold. We'll brave the cold and get to the shed, and we'll put these cucumbers in those pots. In the shed is 10 degrees. We're in that greenhouse at the bottom. It was 15, that's quite a... But we've got what we got. We've got the propagators here, they're working perfectly, so they're nice and warm. There's the cucumbers, FemSpot F1. They cost quite a bit for 5, so you can't really do it wrong. You must. Now, with the seeds being expensive and you only get 5, you really do want to make sure these are nice and warm, the compost, etc., for planting. We don't want many failures with these. Here is the cucumber seed. Now it says 5 on the packet, and I've actually got 6. but I've only got 5 pots, so 1 pot we'll put 2 in. Difficult for me with my hands, but if you're putting them in, stand them on the edge, and then we'll put the vermiculite on them once we've got them standing up. This one is the free seed, but it's very small. Be the one that grows, you see. And that's got them all stood up on the edge. Now what, we'll get the vermiculite and we'll just top them off. It says about 1/2 inch deep, so using vermiculite, a good 1/4 of an inch should do them. And we've had this tray top off for a little while, and I've just heard the thermostat click to switch the heat back on, so we know that's working all right. And this one, there'll be quite a while coming up, so a little bit of cold weather while they're in here won't matter. There you are. We just level those off. That's a little bit more in that one, look. That's fine. Remember, don't squirt it too strong, else it'll be everywhere. If we can get there, there we go, look. There it is. I have actually watered the seedlings the day before yesterday. They're getting a little bit dry. Normally I don't water them a lot in the prop, but I do clean those tops every morning. Shouldn't need a lot because the pots are well soaked. Put the label in. Cucumber foam spot. Good cucumber that is to grow. Now, as you can see, the tomatoes are getting a little bit tall now. These are those San Lorenzo 3 plum type, what we use for the cooking etc and freezing down. That's these 2 trays. This one is one that Gemma wants me to do for her. It's called Pink Tiger. It's actually a heritage variety, I'm sure, so they can be potted as well. Before we pot them, I need to put these trays in that propagator just overnight. They soon warm up, these will. So put one there. We'll get 2 in anyway, and in the next time I see you, they'll be nice and warm, and we should be able to get those potted across. Now if I get time between then I shall pop 1 tray and save the other tray, and we'll do it together. So I can show you, even though they look a bit stretched, they will plant deeper, and if you plant them deep, the stem that's at the top near the compost will actually put roots out anyway, so it's not a bad thing if they are a little bit stretched. That one goes on there because there's a piece where the thermometer goes in, and this one on there. The light I have on, I don't put it on in the day, because on a normal day, if it's sun shining and this is very bright, you don't need it on. But at night, to extend their daylight so they'll grow, I have it on for 10 hours at night, and also the electricity is a bit cheaper then as well. So it's on a timer, and that's when it comes on, and it just comes on off, pleases itself. No problem at all, that. As I say, in the morning I take these off and give them a wipe, and then put them on, open them up. Come tonight, I close the vents and leave that comes on anyway, and they get on with it. It seems to be working, since we're getting a very, very good germination. I did see in this one, I don't know if you see it, the aubergines are now up, and the peppers, which are usually a little bit stubborn, they're doing very well. The cocktail crush and the sun gold, they're doing very, very well. Now, we've sown a few seeds this week. We haven't put an awful lot in because of the cold weather's coming, and I tried to do some raking on the beds this morning to break the crumbs down, but it's dried out. We've had no real rain since, and it was just like raking marble, so we'll leave it until it gets wet again. Now, that's a bit for now. Everybody in this country, remember, we've got some cold weather coming, and it says the whole country will get cold, so keep warm everyone, and do take care. See you soon. Bye now.